West Africa panics as Ibrahim Traoré deploys new surveillance drones and advanced military equipment. West Africa is on high alert as Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traoré unveils a new arsenal of surveillance drones and advanced military equipment. Since 2015, Burkina Faso has faced significant security challenges primarily due to the rise of jihadist groups in the region. The situation can be understood in the following context. 1. Jihadist insurgency. The security crisis in Burkina Faso began around 2015 when jihadist groups, many affiliated with Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, started to escalate their activities. These groups, including Ansar ul-Islam, Jamaat Nasser al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM, and the Islamic State in the Greater Sahara, ISGS, carried out numerous attacks targeting both civilians and security forces. 2. Geopolitical dynamics. Burkina Faso is part of the Sahel region, which includes other countries like Mali and Niger that are also affected by jihadist insurgencies. The porous borders and the vast, sparsely populated areas make it difficult for the central government to maintain control, providing jihadist groups with the opportunity to establish strongholds and recruit locals. 3. Humanitarian crisis. The ongoing violence has led to a severe humanitarian crisis. Thousands of people have been killed, and over 1 million have been displaced, creating a dire situation with widespread food insecurity and lack of access to basic services. 4. Weak state presence. The government's limited capacity to project power across the entire territory has exacerbated the security situation. In many areas, particularly in the north and east, the state's absence has allowed jihadist groups to fill the vacuum, often imposing their own rule and exploiting local grievances. 5. International involvement. To address the crisis, Burkina Faso has received support from international actors. The G5 Sahel Joint Force, which includes troops from Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania, and Niger, was established to combat terrorism and organized crime in the region. Additionally, France's Operation Barkhane and other international efforts have provided military assistance. 6. Complex socio-economic factors. The insurgency is fueled by various socio-economic issues, including poverty, unemployment, and ethnic tensions. Many rural communities feel marginalized and neglected by the central government, making them more susceptible to jihadist propaganda and recruitment. In summary, Burkina Faso's security challenges are a result of a combination of jihadist insurgencies, weak state presence, regional instability, and deep-rooted socio-economic problems. The situation remains fluid and complex, requiring sustained and multifaceted efforts to achieve lasting peace and stability. In recent years, Burkina Faso has experienced a notable shift in its international alliances, moving away from its traditional partnership with France towards closer ties with Turkey and Russia. This realignment reflects broader geopolitical trends and changing national priorities. Background on Burkina Faso's relations with France. Historically, Burkina Faso has maintained a strong relationship with France, rooted in its colonial past. France has been a key economic and military partner, providing substantial aid and security assistance, especially in the fight against Islamist insurgencies in the Sahel region. However, increasing anti-French sentiment among the Burkinabe population and dissatisfaction with the effectiveness of French military operations have strained this relationship. Strengthening ties with Russia. In recent years, Burkina Faso has sought to diversify its international alliances, leading to an enhanced partnership with Russia. This move aligns with a broader trend in the Sahel, where several countries have looked to Russia for military assistance and political support. The presence of the Russian private military company Wagner Group in the region is one indication of this growing influence. Russia offers military equipment, training, and advisory services, which appeal to Burkina Faso's need for immediate and robust counterterrorism support. Growing relations with Turkey. Simultaneously, Burkina Faso has been cultivating stronger relations with Turkey. Turkey has been expanding its influence in Africa through a mix of economic investment, humanitarian aid, and diplomatic engagement. For Burkina Faso, Turkey presents an attractive partner for development projects, trade, and infrastructure development. Turkish companies are increasingly active in Burkina Faso, contributing to sectors like construction and education. Implications of the shift. This strategic pivot towards Russia and Turkey reflects Burkina Faso's desire for more balanced and diversified international relationships. It also underscores a broader trend of African countries seeking alternatives to traditional Western partners, driven by a combination of pragmatism, national interests, and dissatisfaction with existing alliances. This shift may lead to a reconfiguration of regional dynamics and influence the broader geopolitical landscape in the Sahel and West Africa. In summary, Burkina Faso's recent pivot away from France towards Turkey and Russia highlights a significant realignment in its foreign policy, driven by changing domestic and regional imperatives, and marks a notable development in the geopolitics of the Sahel region. New military acquisitions, Turkish-made drones. The military has recently acquired 12 advanced Turkish-made drones to bolster its aerial capabilities. This acquisition includes both the Bayraktar TB2 and Bayraktar Akinci models, each renowned for their sophisticated features and operational effectiveness. Bayraktar TB2 Endurance. The Bayraktar TB2 has a flight endurance of up to 27 hours, allowing for extended missions without the need for frequent refueling or landing. Payload capacity. It can carry a payload of up to 150 kilograms, which includes advanced surveillance equipment and precision-guided munitions. Surveillance and reconnaissance. Equipped with electro-optical and infrared cameras, the TB2 can conduct high-resolution reconnaissance and target acquisition, making it a crucial asset for real-time intelligence gathering and battlefield monitoring. Bayraktar Akinci Endurance. The Bayraktar Akinci is designed for long-duration missions, boasting an impressive flight endurance of over 24 hours. Payload capacity. With a substantial payload capacity of up to 1,350 kilograms, the Akinci can carry a diverse array of weapons and sensors, enhancing its versatility in various combat scenarios. Advanced features. The Akinci features sophisticated avionics, including synthetic aperture radar, SAR, electronic warfare capabilities, and advanced communication systems. Its ability to carry air-to-air missiles and larger munitions further extends its operational reach and effectiveness. These drones are expected to significantly enhance the military's surveillance, reconnaissance, and combat capabilities, providing a strategic advantage in various operational environments. Hypothetical quotes from President Ibrahim Traoré and Defense Minister Kassim Koulibaly regarding the performance and strategic importance of drones in their defense strategy. President Ibrahim Traoré. 1. The integration of these advanced drones into our defense arsenal marks a significant leap in our capabilities. They provide us with unprecedented surveillance and precision strike abilities, essential for protecting our nation and its citizens. 2. Our commitment to modernizing our military is unwavering. These drones are not just tools of warfare, but symbols of our determination to safeguard our sovereignty and enhance our defensive posture. Defense Minister Kassim Koulibaly. 1. The operational performance of these drones has surpassed our expectations. They offer real-time intelligence and surgical strike capabilities, which are crucial in our fight against insurgency and terrorism. 2. Strategically, these drones allow us to monitor vast areas of our territory efficiently, ensuring that we can respond swiftly to any threats. Their importance cannot be overstated in maintaining the security and stability of our country. The acquisition of drones significantly enhances the Burkinabe military's capabilities in various strategic dimensions, particularly in surveillance and response to threats. Here are some key improvements. Enhanced surveillance. 1. Extended reach and coverage. Geographical coverage. Drones can cover vast and remote areas that are difficult or dangerous for ground patrols to reach. This is particularly important in Burkina Faso's diverse terrain, which includes deserts, forests, and mountains. Persistent monitoring. Unlike manned patrols, drones can remain airborne for extended periods, providing continuous surveillance over critical areas. 2. Real-time intelligence gathering. Immediate data transmission. Drones can relay live video feeds and sensor data back to command centers in real time. This enables the military to monitor ongoing situations and make informed decisions quickly. High-resolution imaging. Equipped with advanced cameras and sensors, drones can capture high-resolution images and detailed information about potential threats, including the identification of insurgent movements, illegal activities, and other security concerns. 3. Covert operations. Low visibility. Drones can operate at high altitudes or during nighttime with minimal risk of detection, allowing for covert surveillance missions without alerting adversaries. Improved response to threats. 1. Rapid deployment. Quick reaction. Drones can be rapidly deployed to areas of interest or in response to emerging threats, providing immediate situational awareness that can inform ground or air response units. Flexibility. The ability to quickly relocate drones as needed allows the military to adapt to changing threat landscapes more effectively than traditional surveillance methods. 2. Targeted operations. Precision strikes. Armed drones, if applicable, can conduct precision strikes on identified targets, reducing the risk of collateral damage and increasing the effectiveness of counterterrorism operations. Coordination with ground forces. Drones can guide ground troops by providing real-time intelligence on enemy positions and movements, enhancing the coordination and effectiveness of military operations. 3. Force multiplication. Operational efficiency. By taking on surveillance and reconnaissance tasks, drones free up human resources for other critical missions, effectively multiplying the operational capacity of the military. Enhanced safety. Reducing the need for manned patrols in dangerous areas decreases the risk to military personnel, thereby enhancing overall force protection. Strategic deterrence and psychological impact. 1. Deterrence. Visible capability. The known presence of drones can act as a deterrent to insurgent activities and other illegal operations, as adversaries are aware of the heightened surveillance and potential for rapid response. 2. Psychological impact. Uncertainty among adversaries. The unpredictable presence of drones creates a psychological burden on adversaries, as they are constantly aware that they could be monitored or targeted at any time. The integration of drones into the Burkinabe military arsenal represents a significant enhancement in both surveillance and response capabilities. These technological advancements provide extended reach, real-time intelligence, and rapid deployment, all of which contribute to a more effective and adaptable military force. As a result, Burkina Faso can better monitor its territory, respond to threats swiftly and accurately, and enhance overall national security. The concerns from neighboring countries and the broader West African region regarding increased militarization and potential escalation can be addressed through a multifaceted approach. Diplomatic engagement. 1. Regional summits and dialogue. Initiate and participate in regional summits specifically focused on security and stability. Encouraging open dialogue can help build trust and transparency among neighboring countries. 2. Bilateral and multilateral talks. Engage in direct talks with neighboring countries to address specific concerns and explore mutually beneficial security arrangements. 3. Confidence-building measures. Implement measures such as joint military exercises, exchange programs, and regular communication channels to build trust and reduce the risk of misunderstandings. Security cooperation. 1. Joint security initiatives. Collaborate on joint security operations to address common threats such as terrorism, piracy, and organized crime, which can enhance regional security while reducing the need for unilateral militarization. 2. Regional security organizations. Strengthen involvement in regional security organizations like ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, to ensure a collective approach to security and conflict resolution. Economic and social development. 1. Investment in development projects. Promote and invest in regional development projects that address the root causes of instability, such as poverty and unemployment, thereby reducing the incentives for conflict. 2. Humanitarian aid and support. Provide and coordinate humanitarian aid to conflict-affected areas to alleviate immediate suffering and prevent the exacerbation of tensions. Transparency and communication. 1. Regular briefings and reports. Provide regular updates and reports to neighboring countries and regional bodies about military activities and intentions to prevent misinformation and build trust. 2. Engagement with civil society. Include civil society organizations in discussions about security and development to ensure a comprehensive and inclusive approach. Conflict prevention and mediation. 1. Early warning systems. Develop and strengthen early warning systems to detect and address potential conflicts before they escalate. 2. Mediation and peacebuilding. Support mediation efforts and peacebuilding initiatives to resolve existing conflicts and prevent new ones from arising. International cooperation. 1. engagement with international partners, work with international partners, including the United Nations and the African Union, to gain support for regional stability initiatives and ensure that actions align with international norms and standards. 2. Military aid and training. Seek military aid and training from international partners to enhance the professionalism and accountability of the armed forces, ensuring that increased militarization does not lead to human rights abuses or further destabilization. By addressing these areas, neighboring countries and the broader West African region can be reassured that increased militarization will be managed responsibly, focusing on collective security, development, and stability. This approach not only helps in mitigating concerns, but also fosters a collaborative environment for sustainable peace and development in the region. Ethical and legal considerations. Human rights concerns. Collateral damage and civilian casualties. The use of drones, particularly in military operations, raises significant ethical concerns due to the potential for collateral damage. Drones can strike targets with precision, yet errors or intelligence failures can lead to unintended civilian casualties. Such incidents not only result in loss of innocent lives, but also provoke ethical questions about the proportionality and necessity of drone strikes. The ethical principle of just war necessitates that any military action must distinguish between combatants and non-combatants, and must use force proportionate to the military advantage gained. When drones inadvertently harm civilians, it challenges these ethical standards and raises questions about the legitimacy and morality of their use in conflict situations. Surveillance and privacy. Drones equipped with advanced surveillance technologies have significant implications for privacy and human rights. Surveillance drones can monitor individuals, gather data, and track movements with little to no transparency or oversight. This capability can lead to a range of privacy violations, as individuals may be subjected to constant monitoring without their consent. The intrusion into personal privacy is a major concern, as it can lead to a chilling effect on free speech and free assembly, fundamental human rights enshrined in international covenants. The use of drones for surveillance purposes thus demands strict regulatory frameworks to ensure that privacy rights are not unduly compromised. Psychological impact. The presence of drones, especially in conflict zones, can have a profound psychological impact on local populations. The constant threat of drone strikes can create a pervasive sense of fear and anxiety, affecting mental health and disrupting daily life. This form of psychological warfare raises ethical concerns about the long-term effects on communities and individuals who live under the constant shadow of potential drone attacks. International law. Sovereignty and territorial integrity. The deployment of military drones in conflict zones often involves operating in the airspace of sovereign nations. This raises significant legal issues related to sovereignty and territorial integrity. International law, as embodied in the United Nations Charter, prohibits the use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state, except in cases of self-defense or with the authorization of the UN Security Council. Drone strikes conducted without the consent of the host nation can be seen as violations of sovereignty, leading to diplomatic tensions and potential conflicts. Targeted killings and extrajudicial executions. International human rights law and international humanitarian law, IHL, provide frameworks governing the conduct of armed conflicts and the protection of individuals. The use of drones for targeted killings, particularly in situations outside active hostilities, raises questions about compliance with these legal frameworks. Extrajudicial killings, where individuals are targeted without judicial process, may violate the right to life as protected under international human rights law. Under IHL, targeted killings are permissible only if the individuals are directly participating in hostilities. The distinction between combatants and non-combatants must be maintained, and any use of force must comply with the principles of necessity and proportionality. Accountability and transparency. The covert nature of drone operations often leads to a lack of transparency and accountability. Ensuring compliance with international law requires mechanisms for oversight and accountability to investigate and address incidents of unlawful killings and civilian harm. The lack of transparency in drone programs can hinder the ability to assess compliance with legal standards and to provide remedies for victims of unlawful drone strikes. International bodies and human rights organizations have called for greater transparency and accountability in the use of drones to ensure that operations are conducted within the bounds of international law. In summary, the ethical and legal considerations surrounding the use of drones are complex and multifaceted. Addressing these concerns requires a careful balance between operational effectiveness and adherence to ethical principles and international legal standards. Speculate on the future of Burkina Faso's military strategy and its impact on West African geopolitics. Future military strategy. Increased regional cooperation. Burkina Faso is likely to enhance military cooperation with neighboring countries like Mali, Niger, and Chad through joint operations against insurgent groups. Regional initiatives like the G5 Sahel Joint Force may see increased activity and coordination. Modernization and training. There may be a focus on modernizing the military with better equipment and technology. Training programs, possibly supported by international partners like France or the United States, will be crucial for building a more capable and professional force. Counterinsurgency focus. The strategy will likely continue to emphasize counterinsurgency operations, with efforts to reclaim and stabilize territories held by extremist groups. This could involve a combination of military force and development programs to win hearts and minds. Impact on West African geopolitics. Stabilization efforts. Successful military campaigns against insurgents in Burkina Faso could contribute to regional stability. This would have positive economic and social impacts, reducing refugee flows and fostering economic development. Geopolitical dynamics. Burkina Faso's military strategy could influence the geopolitical landscape of West Africa. Stronger military ties and collaborations could shift power balances, especially about countries like Nigeria, which also faces significant insurgent threats. International relations. The country's approach to its military strategy will impact its relationships with international powers. Effective military reforms and success in counterinsurgency could attract more international support and investment, while failures could lead to increased intervention or pressure. Humanitarian concerns. Military actions will have to balance security goals with humanitarian concerns. Operations that lead to significant civilian casualties or displacement could worsen the humanitarian situation, affecting regional stability and drawing international criticism. In conclusion, Burkina Faso's future military strategy will play a crucial role in shaping not only its security landscape but also the broader geopolitical dynamics of West Africa. Effective regional cooperation and a balanced approach to military operations will be key to achieving lasting stability and development. Do you have thoughts on the use of drones in military operations? Share your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on West African security issues. Your input helps shape our community discussions. Remember, we're all part of this journey together. Let's keep exploring, learning, and growing. Until next time, stay curious and keep spreading those positive vibes. Thanks for joining in. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and hit subscribe to stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way.